Alright, so I'm in the warp gate right now. I want to help you quickly learn how to win alerts as a solo player. During this alert, it's very likely we're going to be able to win, right? But I can give you some hypothetical situations as to how you can help. First off, notice how I'm looking at the map and I'm quickly just bringing my caster trying to figure out what's the best plays here. There's some things that are going to be super obvious. So one of them is going to be playing as a stalker infiltrator. All this is just pulling a Valkyrie, making sure you got a light anvil on the base if there isn't already one placed. And then we're going to just drive the Valkyrie all the way to the enemy's vehicle terminal. So we're going to drop over to, and we're going to look at the map, and we're going to see that the terminal, the best way to tell where it is I'll show you in a second actually. So all we're going to do is we're just going to drop out the Valkyrie and then just have a look on the map and try to figure out where the vehicle terminal is. Here it's quite obvious because there's a box here, right? So that's one example. Over here, for example, the box is here. On Two Stone Beach, the box is here, but you can't really see it. Frostbite, the box is going to be here. So on all of these bases, there are going to be these little boxes that you can pull vehicles from, right? So you want to drive a Valkyrie over to this box. Then you want to, either you can wait for someone to just leave, like this guy's just pulled a lightning, so he doesn't know I'm here, and I'll wait for him to drive away. And then after that, after this guy as well is left, you can kill these guys as well if you want to, right? But the idea is you wait for these guys to leave, and then you pull a sunderer, and you place it like here or here. If you've got a heavy anvil, you can also just drop and place a heavy anvil inside the walls of Esamir. So that's another thing you may want to consider doing. And this is one of the main ways that you can really help win alerts, is literally just placing sunderers in really good locations. You can also place heavy anvils on top of these, which people usually won't be able to see that well, and they won't look in. So it's a bit cheesy, and it isn't technically like always a good idea, but you know, you can do it. Of course, as well, placing them on top of buildings if you wanted to as well. Again, the reason you would do this and place them on top of a building is I'll try to just come up with like a base where that would work. There'll be some examples around here somewhere probably. Like maybe you place this is not a perfect example, but say this building was covered from being shot from above. That would be a good place to time to place a heavy anvil Sundy on top of a building to deploy from. There are some bases like that. It's not super intuitive. On water suns, there's sometimes you just can't place heavy anvils anywhere. I've tried to like place invisible heavy anvils right in the middle of here, but it's actually almost impossible to do. But yeah, like this is just one of the super easy ways you do it. Again, we're just going to quickly hack the vehicle terminal. And again, watch how I'm moving left and right whilst I'm hacking it, right? And then you can just click F3, and then we can click 1, 2, 3, 4 to go through our loadouts, just to make it a bit quicker. So again, I click E, F3, I go to which one that I want, so this time it's going to be invisible, and I deploy the Thunderer. Now you can also, if you are worried about nanites, so this is one, if you're going to use an invisible Sunderer, you don't really want to have it in an obvious location, but let's just say I placed it here. One thing you can do to conserve nanites that you probably haven't considered, and I'll quickly show you now, is we can, instead of pulling a Valkyrie from Mattison's Triumph, some of these aircraft terminals, you will be able to pull a aircraft. Perfect. So this might not have enough Courtium, we'll see. Hopefully, but oh, so by the way, if you're going to go to these terminals, these have to be 20,000 Courtium inside. So you need to wait for it to get to 20,000 Courtium until you can use it. So see how I couldn't use it before, but now I can? That's because he filled it up. And then we can just again click F2 to get a Valkyrie, or you can alternately get an ejection seat ESF. So that's another way to do it. And then again, we can just fly to a base and pull a Sunderer. So say for example, I could pull one. So again, I'm going to look in the map. I'm going to see this is probably where the vehicle terminal is going to be. So I placed a personal waypoint over there. And I can just fly over there, right? And it seems difficult to fly in a scythe, but it's actually not that difficult. All I'm doing right now is I'm holding down W, holding down spacebar, and then if you want to move left and right, you can hold down A, which I'm doing now, and D, Or alternately, you can go on your side like this, which is very easy to do. And then you can just move up and down on your mouse. And this is actually a lot harder to be hit by if you're doing this. But that's a bit more advanced. And again, watch how ejection seat ESF, I just jump out just like that. And I'm on the vehicle terminal. And then again, we can have a look around for ESFs if we're concerned that might be around. But yeah, then we hack the terminal. We're strafing left to right whilst we're hacking it. And yeah, this just saves you nanites if you do it this way, because you're not like using nanites to pull the scythe, because you're pulling it from that caution base, right? And yeah, we can just deploy the sunderer. There will be a no deploy location here that's just not showing, I'm pretty sure. But I will quickly test that hypothesis, pretty sure. Okay, so I can just place it here. Also, when you do place these sunderers, make sure you lock them, or Pepegas will come along and try to shoot from the vehicle and expose your location. A good way to start people spawning into your sunderer is just start capping the base. Super simple. You'll notice I'm running on my infiltrator sensor shield. It's almost mandatory that you run that. Avoidance is decent as well. You will sometimes get back capped because it does take a bit of time to place the sunderer, not a disaster. You can then just go defend the back cap if you want, so I could just switch to heavy assault and go defend this, and then have a sunderer ready. Or, alternately, I could just go to a new base and place a new sunderer. Just depends on how you want to do things. One of the best things you can do actually is you can go to a base like Bridgewood, you see right here. Back capping this actually would be disproportionately useful relative to anything else we could do right now. So if we were playing to win the alert, by the way, just since we're at the end of this alert, you would generally try to place a sunderer at one of these bases up here, or you would place a sunderer here or down here. These bases specifically are good because this one especially and this one have a 1 minute timer. So they're super useful to capture during the end of an alert, and a lot of the time you'd be surprised. You yourself as a solo player can win an alert just by placing an invisible sunderer in the middle of here. Some bases are super important to capture, if it's especially like if it's not the end of the alert. So holding some bases like Waterson's Redemption, which can hold like a lot of population and not be captured. Mattison's Triumph is another example, and so is Tech Plant, the containment sites, and Sierra Listening Post. These are all bases that you want to try to get up until the last 30 minutes, and you want to like try to focus on those because these are the more difficult bases to capture, right? And once you hold them, you normally have them forever. So yeah, capturing these bases nice and early is usually a good idea. Again, same thing for containment sites. There's certain nuances to certain warp gates, like holding Jaeger's Fist from this warp gate is really good because it then only means the opposition can only push from here or from like here, and that's like the because obviously you can't really push on a Madison's Triumph that easily, so there's only like a few connections if you hold people at Jaeger's Fist. So there's like stuff that you can focus on capturing right at the start. Oh, by the way, when you're in the loading screen you can just hit the U key early so that you start redeploying earlier. Also notice how you don't have to go up to one of these terminals to redeploy to a new warp gate. You can just do it from the map screen. And here again, we can just, if we want, even pull a sunderer and place it on top of here. So there's like lots of different weird things you can do with heavy anvils. You can again just get a heavy anvil right on top. Okay, so what I'm very quickly going to try to do here is I'm going to try to kill that sunderer that we saw earlier. I'm going to show you two different methods to do this. First, I want to show you the quick and easy way. The first one is going to involve having a engineer with mines, and you have this mine carrier thing so you can hold a bunch of mines at once. And all we're going to do is we're going to try to just fly all the way up to the sunderer past everything. We're going to hit E at the right time, and then we're going to try to throw all these mines onto this. This might not work. Now keep in mind this is a shield, so this is actually too many mines. But I'll just show you just as an example. Imagine this didn't have a shield. It's blowing up here quickly. Oh, I might have got it. We'll see. Oh, almost got it. I threw that grenade a bit too late there. If I threw the grenade and shot with the archer at the same time, that should have blown it up. That's a good example of how to kill a sunderer. The other other way to do it, which is slightly more nanite efficient, is we can just pull another Valkyrie, and I won't pull a scythe here because we can just use Valkyries, and I'm being a bit resource inefficient by using scythes, right? Scythes are good, or any ESF, Mosquito and Reaver included. Scythes are better because they are faster, and so you can avoid aircraft a lot easier. Even other ESFs usually can't kill you when you're in a scythe ejection seat or whatever. But with a Valkyrie it is a bit more weak. Usually, you can either fly really high or you can fly really low. Usually I'll fly low just so all the flak and stuff just can't see me right now. So I can again just get right to the point. Now what I'm going to do interestingly this time is I'm going to fly over here. And I'm going to try to get a anti-vehicle turret. And we're going to try to do the same thing we did last time, but this time we're going to try to do it with an anti-vehicle turret. Again, that time didn't work because there's a bunch of people defending the Sunderer, but you get the general idea, and that is that you're trying to go far away, and you're trying to just pick off the Sunderer from distance with the anti-vehicle turret. And that can also work, especially if there isn't like 20 people defending the Sundy. Now I hope that helped you out. People that play Sunderers are like a godsend. You can see 2 here. Do try to make sure that you play. So this is like an example of a bad Sunderer location. I'll quickly explain why. This is 2 in the open. People have to now run all the way through here with air to ground and vehicles shooting at them, and it also is longer travel time to get to the point. And so if you think about this, from the spawn room to get to the point, it's like a 10-second run. If it's like 15 seconds to run from a Sunderer to here, that's inefficient and that's actually going to screw you over. You want to actually have it like relatively even. So that's why you always want to place the Sunderer like relatively close to where it should be placed. Over here we'll probably start to see some people. Again, this is a like bad location for a Sunderer as well. You generally on this base, for example, want to place it on the sea over here, or you want to place like the Sunderer over here, I believe, and over here. So yeah, you can also place these Sunderers in here as well, but they're a bit more easy to see if you place them inside of here, but it is like, it's some cover, so you can do that if you want to. Yeah, I hope that helped. If you've got any questions or anything you would like to add to this for like placing Sunderers and killing Sunderers, feel free to. Of course you can pull like multiple people in a Valkyrie and just drop with a bunch of C4. That does also work if you've got a squad, but this is more of like a solo player video. Hope it helped. Until next time, I'm out. GG. Bye bye.